Hello everyone and welcome to the Scottish Silverback Podcast, and this is episode 22, and it's just going to be me and Greg this week. Just kind of shoot the shit because Greg's still on prep, so we're interested to hear what he's going through. Sounds like a fucking barrel of laughs. It's always good being off prep and watching someone in it after you've just come out of one and being like, oh, I remember that shit. I talk us through it, Greg, because I don't know how open you want to be with it, but...
No, I'll be pretty open. I mean, like, this week was probably... I mean, like, obviously coming off the win at the Arnold, like, you kind of step off stage and, like, being so close to winning, I was like, I need to keep going. Like, I was that close. I've got another show in me, but then you just do not think about the time frame. It was like, I'll pick my show and I'll just do it. When straight away I fucking committed to that show, and like 2 weeks down the line, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is still a fucking eternity to go.
Yeah.
And it was like, obviously, people only understand if you've been in this process of like coming from a show to another show. It's not just a case of like, I'm going to get better because you're there. There's only so much like I could have got better from there to there, and that would have been like a week's worth of fucking digging. I had 7. There's like not much you could do, and you're in this horrible limbo phase where it's like you're wanting to like not see your body get worse because like I've got a fucking show coming up. I really don't want to see my body getting worse.
Yeah.
But you've got to go through that process of like trying to fill out more and like not look as lean, and it's like, fuck, I've got a show, and your mind's playing these mental games. You're still like tired and dieted. You're still not on a lot of food, and you're like, fuck me, why am I doing this dieting thing? There's so many things run through your head. But I managed like the first 3 weeks well, and then like this week it just hit me like a ton of bricks with 4 weeks to go. So obviously Jamie's been there before. He just says, mate, you're just mentally fried. You're just needing a break. Like, you're ready. I could peak you this week and we could walk into a show next week. So it's not like we're going to do any damage. He's like, go take the weekend off. Don't train. Don't think about it. Go and have a few meals off plan, blah, blah, blah. And like, just check in with him on Monday. And even that, I was like, I don't really want to do that. But I was like, I guess I'll just fucking listen and do it. It was good. Had a couple meals off plan, nothing serious. But yeah, I feel a bit mentally better after seeing like people competing this weekend. Like, that's going to be me soon.
Yeah.
I just want to present my best, and hopefully I can walk away this year and know that all the sacrifice and the struggling and dieting was worth it. Because like there's been points obviously where I'm like, I want to be with my kids. I want to enjoy some food with my family. I want to take them places. I don't want to be dying. I don't want to be struggling. I want to perform better in the gym. I don't want my body aching, all this kind of stuff. And it gets to that point, like, should I just pack it in? And like, you would get to 3 weeks after you have done that, like, fuck, I wish I hadn't done that. Or you would see who won the show that you're way doing. You're like, I could have fucking beat him easy. And it's like, oh man, I just don't want to live with that regret. So I just need to keep going.
Yeah, I think it might be, for people who haven't competed, who listen to this, like, they think like, oh, getting 2 days off, like, that sounds dynamite, like, but when you're that entrenched, it's not. It's actually, if anything, that's more stressful. Well, I know I would struggle. Just take 2 days off. It's like, you literally, your brain plays tricks on you. It's funny when you're on the way down, but they're not like, if someone says two days off, your first thought is, fuck, I'm going to put all the fat on I've just done taken off the past 20 weeks. And fine, it doesn't fucking work like that. It's like, that's just impossible.
Do you know what's funny is the initial like click in your head, like, see when like your coach says go take this out, you're like, like, oh my God, all the food I'm thinking about. But it's like just a minute later, you're like, I can't do that.
Aye.
It's not like the day after the show and I've got nothing else. It's like, I can't just go binge for 2 days because it'd be fucking awful. I'd be paying water, I'd look like shit, I'd feel like shit. My performance would be good, we'd have to grind it back off, and then there would be dying for the shows. Like, you think about all these things, it's like, I can't go and do that. I need to just like have a bit more relax about my life and my thoughts, and like just go have a couple of meals off and it won't do any damage. It's like, I've probably dropped about 4 pounds today, like just of coming back in tighter. So it's like, it does come off super quick.
Yeah.
And when you're stage ready, a couple of days off plan is not going to do any damage. I mean, like, people do back-to-back shows and they go and have like a day off plan. It's not fucking any big deal. But obviously, the mental aspect of it is way, way harder to deal with.
It's like I said to you in that voice note, it's like, it's a break, but it's not, because you know as soon as it's done, you're right back into the fucking that hole again. And you might feel good for maybe a couple of days, but it's when 2019, when I was in between shows, because I'd done 4 shows in the space of 8 weeks, so it's one every 2 weeks, and like you come off it, take a day off, you're like, right, let's go have some fun, but like you're watching the clock, waiting for the day to end, like, this is gonna end soon. It's not the same as coming off.
It's not even that. There's like, even though like you're away to, you say you just walked into a shop of cakes and you're looking at like fucking 8 you want, you're like, I can't have these 8. I'm going to have to dial it down to maybe like 2 or 3 because we're going to go somewhere after this. I'm going to have to get something there, so I can't go all out because I can't get like everything I want here, then everything I want there. It's just like you can't just relax, and that is the worst part of it. Like I've said this before, but when you finish a show and like you've just stepped off stage, like regardless win or lose, there's this weight it leaves you, and it's the best feeling in the world knowing that like the diet is stopped. There's no stress of the scales or like how you look in the mirror after each meal, how you're going to peek into the show, all this kind of stuff. It just leaves you. There's no worry. You can go and just like not even fucking eat if you don't want to. You can do all these things. That is the best feeling in the world. And I've just like only semi had that. I've not had that relaxation. Even though I was in London for a couple of days, like I still, even though I kind of knew I was going to do our show, I had the best time, but it was like, it's still there in your mind. And it's just something you can't let go of until the shows are done. That's the worst part of it for me.
That's what I was like coming off of Bodies, because we spent, I think was it 2 days off I had? I must have been 2 days. And one of them was in London, and we went to that Creme London in Soho, that cookie place.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, how many do you want? I went,
all of them.
just one. She was like, oh, fucking hell, I didn't ask you your fucking grandma died or fucking whatever, but I know it's not, people in prep, not right now because the season's almost done, but people who are like just like mid-prep are like, fucking, I'd love 2 days off right now. I was like, no, it's not like that. It's not
as fun as you think. But then, honestly, there's some people who would just be like, let's fucking go.
Oh, no, yeah.
They don't realise the consequences of what they're way to do. Like, they're like, you go there, it's like, but Jesus Christ, you don't have a mind. Like, do not think for yourself. Like, that's going to cause some damage. It's like, you really should think about that kind of stuff a bit better. But some people just aren't there. If their coach said to them, like, go for like 2 days off, they would probably think, go have fucking 2 days off.
Off.
You're not in prep anymore. Prep is done, but we'll start again on Monday.
That's the thing about being like, the good thing about being a super heavy is like you will not add body fat off 2 days off. You just won't. That's just, your body does not work like that.
It's like I said today, my upper looks exactly the same. I would say my quads are holding most of the fullness, but my calf nippers are still like totally shredded. There's no water retention in my ankles. I think all of the weights kind of went to my calves, my quads, but like my upper is just so fucking full, and it was still striated and like dry and everything, but it was just like I looked huge, and it's like that's an amazing feeling. But you're like, it's not stage ready, but like you look good. So it's like when I seen that, I was like, oh, not bad. I'll bring it down. So it was easy that, but if you came in like a total water buffalo after a weekend, you're like, fuck this. Like face blown out, fucking ass hanging out the back of the door. Fucking, it's not good.
I call it. I don't know if you get it right. I don't know. I've not met anyone that has it. I call it carb chin, right? So when I fucking cheat, this just swells like that and sweats. It's fucking minging. I call it carb chin, but I've not heard about anyone else have it. So I went for food today with my 2 mates, 2 clients, and went to a block. You know, like we've been.
Oh yeah.
A couple of times, yeah. But I just had this bagel thing, right? And we just kind of shared nachos. So it was nothing like compared to what we've done before, like full on fucking feasts. I just felt like that, just go like that. And that's when I know my off season started, when I start getting fucking carb chin, when I fucking eat shite. But I managed to kind of keep it in check. I had that, and then I went to Tesco, like kidding not, like I forgot to buy lemons this morning in the weekly shop, right? So I went to the Tesco in town. I was like, right, I'll go in for lemons, knowing fine well I didn't fucking need to go get lemons. I was like, I'm just going to go look at the bakery, basically.
Sniff it.
Like, oh fuck, I don't want to feel like I can't believe how different this like post prep has been. I really do not want my stomach to feel like shite. I fucking hate feeling that. I hate carb chin, even though I'm the only person on the fucking planet that gets it. It's just I don't want to go through that again.
The
Definitely.
only thing I've noticed this time is how I don't want to say like unhealthy, but I just feel my body's battered. Like this has probably been the longest prep I've done.
Yeah.
I think last year when we prepped, I can't remember how long it was for, but it was quite a consistent like dialed in. It was only the one show, so it was very smooth coming into it. Whereas this has been like I've transferred over to 2 coaches. I've done 2 shows. We go from a third, so I've peaked, unpeaked, peaked, unpeaked, and like I came straight in from a very, very big off season, and it's like my body just feels fucking battered, and it's like I can feel it. It's like my body's like wanting to almost start fighting this. Like this is like the last leg. Like even if like for some reason like this show doesn't go to plan, I'm not going again. And that's just purely for my health.
So you're not going to the Spanish qualifier?
I would honestly just have to leave it at that. Like as much as it's like a week later, I honestly don't think my body could do it then. It might, but I would just feel like fucking shit, and I really don't want to go that extreme in my health. It's not like I feel unhealthy or anything, because like I woke up this morning feeling good, I had a great night's sleep, and I felt more energetic, and the food helped. Felt stronger in training, so everything's good. But it's like I can really see in my face, like my eyes are getting a bit black right here. It's just like the lack of sleep for over the months and the hard training and the diet. It's like it's really taking its toll. And like I was saying to Arini today, when everybody just says like, "Oh, I can't wait for the off season," like I am literally looking forward to taking like maybe 1 to 2 weeks off the gym after, and just like not eating like binging, but I just want to take like a good week to week and a half, maybe like just not training. I want to just fully rest my body and just like eat a lot of clean food and just like let it heal. I'm not interested in going straight back in the gym like that.
I don't know. Your last 2 days.
I said that, but like you see, after the Arnold, I didn't want to go back in the gym.
Really?
I wasn't keen. Nah, I wasn't like dying to get back in the gym, make the progress. I was happy with like when was the last training? It was like the Thursday. I went back in on like Wednesday. That was a good fucking 5-6 days. And I was like, I'm still not really dying to get in. I even said in London, I'm like, I'm not dying to get back in the gym.
Yeah.
That's how much like my brain has like changed this year. Because remember last time I went in like fucking a bat of hell, and I was like on the hatch squat doing 7 plates and shit. I was like, fucking, the knees just like almost snapped. It's like I've learned my lesson in that aspect of things, but it's like right now I really feel I would benefit massively from just like that time off, like mentally.
Yeah.
I just like I don't want to do anything gym related. Like I've really pushed myself this year to max, and I think just a good week and a half off, just eating and chilling, and then going back in like super fresh, I think it would really help me. Even like I don't want to go back in and do like the one working set like what you're doing. I just want to. I probably would go back in after that time, but I'd want to take like a longer period off. That's like the first time I've ever felt like that.
Yeah, it's just nice. Like, it was we were down at the PCA British last week, and had like a team kind of training session before we went for brunch and that, and it's just nice to just it's like
it's weird, isn't it?
Just train like a normal person, not train, exercise. Yeah. Just like done a bit of shoulder press. Oh, fuck it, I'll do some hack squat. Fuck it, I'll do whatever. Like it was just nice to just kind of get some blood in and just like just move about. It's mad the stress and the build up that we go through daily for like our proper sessions, and then to train like that, it's just like this is just nice. You know what I mean? It's like so.
Like maybe even today, like I said, like I went in to do today was like my posterior day, but I went in like my first exercise is like almost like Dorian style pullovers, but I use like long D handles and I pull it like down forward like that on my elevated bench. And that's just really to like warm up my lower lats and all my back, and then I'll go and do my stiffs. And like I had so much energy going them, and I actually pulled a really good number. But you see, after that, I was just fucking wiped. Like I literally struggled to go do the rest of like my rowing sets. It was you just don't realize like how much energy you put into those big lifts, especially in prep. They're like, usually in the off season, you'd be like, okay, you get like a good 5-minute recharge and go again. But like those mental preparations, like you don't actually realize, like you've focused so much energy into that, and it's like it's hard to explain. It's like you don't realize your body's sucking energy for that one set, and then once it's gone, it's like shit. I thought I had the energy for this whole session, but I just fucking channeled it all into that.
Yeah.
I was just absolutely wiped after that. I just struggled. I just had to take like a good 5-minute breaks between each set.
I think that's one of the big what's the word? Like when you have like a high carb day or a cheat meal, you feel dynamite when you're walking in. You're like, yes, finally a bit of fucking energy. But it's like fake energy. It's not actually there. It's like just like a wee trickle like that, and then like one big lift and it's just gone like that. You're like, oh fuck's sake, and you're back to like you do just say you'll do like a burger and fries, and then you're like, oh fuck, I've got 4 weeks in me of this prep, easy, I could do that. And you're one day after you've gone through the edge, like, oh fuck, nah, I don't know why I said that.
I don't know about you, but I know like we're both quite sweaty people in the gym, but like towards like the end of prep, I stop sweating as much because like you're very depleted, the energy's just not coming off you the same.
Yeah.
Like, even on like my deadlifts, I fucking sweat like mad on my deadlift. Like literally it's running off my hands. It's like running down my back everywhere. Everyone's soaking. Really? And like the last few weeks, I've not been like that. But you see today, the video, you can see like when I'm up and I'm like breathing out, it's just like I hit it off my face. It's coming over. There's steam coming off my head. You can actually watch the water like drop off my hands. It's like even just after like a good feed, my body's just like burning through it. It's like it was just sweating everywhere after that. And then it was, I probably won't be like that tomorrow. I've just used that off today, but I remember having like more food. It just burns off me.
I remember in results, Graham had that tiny wee office like next to the door there. I remember just sitting in there with him with the door closed, and like this was like after I came off my first prep.
You just benched like for a week.
I was like a fucking retard, and then just look over and like the whole window is like steamed up. I said to Graham, what the fuck's that? And he's like, that's you that's doing that. Like all the it's just mad how like your body just goes ape and your metabolism and everything starts firing. And do you get this as well? Like Taylor Johnson, who we both know, said it as well. See, like the night sweats post prep. Did you get them? So like for like the first like 3 days post prep,
like after food,
got soaking. Like
if I've had a big cheat meal, my body just like burns for like the whole night.
But it was just a case of like I just gone back onto a high calorie diet. It wasn't necessarily I cheated. It was like it was fucking minging me. I had to have one of the nights I had to have a shower during the night because it was that soaked through. I went through 2 t-shirts. Like, oh, it's minging. I don't know if I have
like a very high carb meal last meal, or I'll have a cheat meal as my last meal. Like I'll literally have to sleep with the duvet off because I'm just sweating. And it just really shows you like how well your metabolism's like running through that. Because even if I had like I had like salmon, and I have salmon and rice for my last meal, like I won't sweat. But I mean, if it's like a lot of like sugary or like fucking carb dense foods, whatever, I'll sweat like mad in bed.
Yeah.
But not if I'm having like a high diet. Usually I'm warm. Like I'm usually, if I'm off season, I'm fucking warm. But it's not like I'll be mega uncomfortable sweating.
Again, I think that's just one of the fucking things that happens to me. Fucking fucked up body.
But no, like I'm always warm. I'm never like cold. Like she always says that to me. Like she's obviously like cool all the time. I'm like, I'm fucking roasted. If you just open the window. Like it's absolutely like snow coming in. I'm like, I'm still warm.
What did you make of the PCA British? What do you think of Big Tim that won the overall bodybuilding?
Good, yeah. Do you know what? See, when people like win that, I would like to really see how they would stand up in the like a 2 bros.
Yeah.
In that stand up things.
That's what I keep saying to Adam Harding. It's like, when you can do the fucking super heavies, and he's like, oh, when I've added this, when I've added that, I'm like, mate, look at the fucking size. What are you on about? Like he comes to me for posing, and I'm like, fucking hell, mate, like you're a monster, like an absolute monster. But yeah, shit.
it's sometimes hard to see yourself, compare yourself to others. Like I still don't think I'm big like, at all. It's like weird. I really don't. And it's like you see when like you stand next to like some big people, you're like, oh, I'm quite big.
Yeah.
Even like walking about like in a t-shirt, it's like fuck, I feel small. But like you're just not. And it's like maybe because I'm dieted or whatever. But like even in my off season, like I didn't feel big. And it's strange how you don't see yourself. So like I can imagine like what he's probably thinking is like, oh, I've still got like a lot of muscle tissue to add before I want to step on like a bigger stage. Like
maybe because like that's what I said. I shared his post, and I was like, he's the fucking Scottish Dennis Wolfe. Like in my opinion, like that kind of frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to share the thing, mate, so people know the lighting of that show. Because I was there, obviously. And
the photos always turn out quite well.
Yeah, but I think even in the flesh, mate, it was dynamite.
Yeah, see, he's got very good like the proportions of him. His condition came really well. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so crisp through the legs as well.
Do you know what I was thinking? Right, I was the other day. What the fuck makes a good most muscular? Because there's some absolute thick monsters that are most muscular, and they don't like. There's some really skinny guys at it. Skinny guys look like fantastic, and you're like, how the hell? What makes a good most muscular? Very strange. Because I thought it was shoulders. Is it like shoulders that like pop off the front with like a good chest? It's strange.
We've got Dexter Jackson. There must be a most muscular in here somewhere.
Yeah, there.
It's crab shot.
Right. Up. You just passed it.
Did I?
Yeah, up. On the right. Keep moving.
That's a hard passed. I mean, it's crab shot.
All right. Aye, his is traps though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like.
But his clasp is still good.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously class there, but I'm trying to find it must be somewhere. To me, Dexter Jackson's crab shot, most muscular, is my favourite. There we go. It is.
The clasp for me was Luke. Yeah. It's just the traps. He looks like a fucking turtle.
It's like his traps are bigger than his fucking head, and they come up halfway his ears and all that as well. And
I prefer the clasp. I think that clasp is cool.
It's the traps and the rear delts and the legs. His hand, fucking Paul Dillette, fuck's sake.
I don't know. Absolutely nuts.
It's like a welterweight against a super heavy. Literally, probably.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Luke's clasp was for me the best. Awesome. But I just wanted, like, I thought it was maybe the triceps that pop up, but like when you look back at the guy you showed there, like his arms are not his best body part, but he has a very good most muscular, and it's just strange.
I've just gone on Ben's because I don't know if Luke's paid is still up, but
it is.
It is, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Because you usually do the hands on hips.
I do my hands on my hips because I can pop my shoulders and get like chest striations, and my abs are quite good.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you hide the clasp, it sometimes hides them. But like, yeah, like see his arms are just like ridiculous. His triceps pop, and his chest is not big.
Yeah.
But like it just looks so thick, ridiculous. I think his worst body part was his chest because it was so like compact and it wasn't like broad and it didn't help the shot. But his arms like overtook that.
It's like elbow to elbow. That's like 9 feet.
It's just not. It must just be the way some things are structured. Like I think if you actually got short the clavicles and that, you look really thick if you've got the good shot of it. But like if you're quite wide, I don't think it works that well. It's strange. But even like
my hands clasp most musculars, I hate it.
Like that there, that is
it's ridiculous.
I wish I could fucking hit that. I just don't think I've got, like, even though my arms have came up massively in the last year, I still can't hit it. That's the one shot I would love to hit as a clasp.
I'm just glad the way I do it. So just for people who don't know, like that's how I hit my most muscular. Like that for me is like the only most muscular. I think it's not even a conventional one. I can't do the class.
Almost like the old school side. It's almost like the old school.
Yeah. It's like a front on side chest.
Well, for me, your forearms and your arms with your quad in front make that such a good shot.
Yeah, it's just you come back to the arms anyway. So
yeah, you really like showed like that part of your body well for the most muscular.
Yeah. Who else has got a mad most muscular? Fucking just go with Jay.
What is Jay does? Phil does, but it's very Luke.
Aye, I know what you mean.
He's got the same, just the arms made his, because he's again very short clavicles. He's got a short chest. He's got a compact chest. It's not wide.
Mm-hmm.
That's just basic to me. It's not like his signature shots.
It's not. Yeah, I know.
It's not like a shot. It's like known in the history books as a great shot.
You see, different topic. You see this? Fucking weird. See, you got a hair transplant. I know it's probably old news to a lot of people.
Because he shaved his head not long ago.
I'm gonna see the company that Joe went through.
Mm-hmm.
I just emailed them, so I'm gonna set up a consultation with them. I think I'm gonna go down that route. It's getting to
Homestead to get it for free.
I saw that. So like I followed them, right? And they DM me saying, "Hi Andy, how are you?" And I was like, "Nah, it's just automated. I'll just leave it." And then I went through like all the transformations that they have on their page, and they've like the only transformations they've got are people who have got like decent social media following. And I think I've got a decent following. So I'm like, are they reaching out to give me free? But I doubt it. No, I'm out of
Not quite Chris, like 1 million followers.
I know. Some of the boys, the transformations put up, I've got like the same as me, like 13,000, 15,000. So, but yeah, regardless, I'm gonna do that. So and get this filled as well. So I can actually grow a fucking proper beard because that does my tits in. It's all fucking bald.
That would look if I got it, but I think it's actually okay like that. So I just want to join that one bit there. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's just like this is just too. I don't even care about the hairline. The hairline's fine. It's just I need it thickened. It's just too thin now, and it goes a weird way. I look like I said. Do you see that comment that James Watt put on my the registration photo? What did he say? Cheeky cunt, honestly. So I just sat in a car for fucking 8 hours, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I just caught it there.
All right. I sat in a car for 8 hours, so obviously my fucking hair's not going to be spot on. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just share it on the screen because it's quite funny, actually. And some like, where are we? My internet's so shite, man. Right, this one. So see how my hairs went there?
Yeah.
It's just because it's like obviously it's getting so thin now that like it's sitting like that right now. And then he said, where is it? Saying that I look like one of the boys from fucking Dumb and Dumber.
You said it?
You know James Watt?
Yeah.
It's like, fucking cheeky cunt. But I was like, when he said that comment, I was like, fucking dick. I was like, he's kind of right, actually. And then I was kind of like, yeah, my hair is sitting weird now. Just because, like, even though I do use finasteride, I've been on it for, it's sitting weird there. It has obviously slowed the process down, but because my bald genetics are just so strong, I think it's like outdoing the finasteride. So I'm gonna get a hair transplant in the new year. I think I don't know when, but I'll go through the company that Joe went through.
If I could suit like the same number all over, I just wouldn't get it.
But the thing is, though,
I would do like a dick, so I'm not doing it.
Yours will grow back. Like, I'm scared to just shave it and it doesn't come back.
I want to shave it all the time and just leave it.
All right, fair enough.
But it's, I think it was just. Do you know what? Like when I got my hair shaved, like quite short for the graftism, the picture I had in my mind, I didn't actually think of it. But like obviously my sides are like white, and it's like perfect like there. So it just looked like I had a fucking straight up skinhead to there. And it looked like I had a bowl cut on top, and I was like, oh fuck. Because through the photos, you can't obviously when you take a photo, you can't see the white.
Aye.
I looked like I had a bowl cut, and it was just so shit. I wish I never got that. So now I'm trying to leave it a bit longer, but it's just because it's so white inside.
I know it's and it's inevitable. And to be honest, like I haven't run gear since I was 20. I'm so surprised I've still got even one strand of hair on my head. Like it's baffling, but it's that's the plan. So
mine would go white all over, and I'll be
happy. So what have you got plans for post show? I don't mean food. I just mean like in general, like trips and that.
What's that? Trips.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna have like a day in Denmark, so like the show will finish at like 2, 3 in the afternoon. So I think we'll just try and enjoy some the local cuisines, delicacies, or whatever. And then we've got pretty much the whole day. Monday we fly back like at night. Not an hour flight, but yeah, probably just try and enjoy something because it actually looks really nice there. And our apartment's actually really quite good.
Copenhagen.
So let's walk about.
Is it in Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's really centre, so it's only like fucking 10-minute walk everywhere. But the streets look really nice. The foods look really nice. Sites look really nice. So it'll just be a good walkabout stuff. I just kind of hope it's nice weather. But yeah, I mean, after that, I'm honestly just looking to have some time off and just chill, like just do nothing. And also, I've just got Mexico planned next year. I'll really be about it.
When are you going to Mexico?
When
are you going to Mexico?
End of April, beginning of May. I don't know what I think it's still Amber. Can't remember. But
something like
changing by then.
You can go to Amber. Oh, you're not double vaccinated.
Might be by then. I'll see.
Aye, we'll see.
If I need it by then, I'll have to get it. But yeah, it's. I think everyone's just going that way anyway. But I just don't see it. It just pisses me off because I don't see the point in it. And it is really just so I can travel. And but even that, the amount of people that are getting hassled with it, even they've been double vaccinated, is just fucking weird. Like everyone's been double vaccinated, they're still getting hassled traveling. That makes sense.
Like in that last podcast, for me, if it takes 5 years off my life, but it allows me to do what the fuck I want, that's a no-brainer in my opinion.
It's like Rob Taylor. They got double vaccinated to go to, well, he was well before then, but he must have known he was traveling, so they got it well before the show. And then on the way back, they got stopped at the gate, said you're not allowed to fly back because you got your last jab on.
Yeah, the time period.
Yeah, and it was like literally 2 days of difference. It's like shit like that. That's just really annoying. I just don't understand. Then they went down another gate and got through.
I know. I don't. I can't believe it's all like it's just so fucking all over the place, man. It just doesn't make sense. Obviously, I don't want to get too into it with this, but I can't believe. And obviously, there's all these like rumors of further lockdowns and shit. It's like, oh, shut up, man.
I know. See, when people say that to me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to call him a negative cunt, but it's like, stop thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, do you read the news? I'm like, I've not watched the news since the start of 2020. Because there's no point. It's fucking bullshit. It's just like haver crap, and it changes week to week. Something they'll say is like gospel, then the next week it's taking a 180, and then that's gospel. I just don't pay attention to it. And someone like comes and says to you what they've said that day, and it's like, oh, it won't happen. I'll guarantee you. Next week it doesn't happen. No. Sometimes somebody says to me, "Oh, there's going to be more fucking lockdowns." I'm like, "There's not." Shut up.
You just have to look at our parents' generation, and they're like, "Oh, you see this? You see that? You see this?" I was like, "Just no." I was like, "You don't care?" No, because no.
I kind of just like live my life day to day, not worrying.
We obviously drove to the Arnold down to Birmingham, and that's when all that fucking fuel thing was going on.
Oh, yeah.
My mum was like, you better make sure this, you better make sure, you better have it, like, know where you're going petrol station wise down the motorways and that. I was like, fucking shut up. Like, not one issue getting fuel for the car.
You know
like,
what the worst thing is? It's like, it's not, I think it's probably the older generation, and they are so fucking shit scared and stuff like that. And like, I can't remember what shop I was in. Like, I never wear a mask. I've got the fucking exempt thing on my phone if anybody ever wants to see it. But I was in there, and there was me and another boy walked in, and this boy was heavily fat. So he was like probably had breathing issues, I'd imagine. He's eventually said that to lady, but lady like kept looking up and she was just giving us daggers. Like, they were both obviously wearing masks behind the counter, and she goes, "Do you two not wear masks?" And I was like, "No, I'm exempt." And she goes, "What about you?" And he's like, "I'm exempt too." And he goes, "I've got asthma." And she's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And I was like, "We've just told you, you're not even allowed to fucking question us, but like, you're going mental because we've both just told you exempt. Like, we don't need to wear masks." And then she said something that like about like, "You two not worried about being ill?" And I'm like, "No, I'm really not, or I'd fucking wear a mask. I'm fine, thank you."
It was a sign going into block on the doors like about wearing masks. Like, we wear masks in here to like protect like the thousand. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
hell, man. There's more things going about than just fucking, like COVID and that. And that's what you see now. Everyone's getting colds and chest infections and shit. Like, they're spreading way faster because we spent 18 months just like with crashed immune systems because we're not in contact with other human beings. You know what I mean? It's I've got a cold just now, and then Reagan's there's been a chest infection going about down here as well, and she's got something, she can barely speak. It's just like, fucking hell, there's more shit, just crack on. And it was good to see though, like, see the art like down south. That's like, they definitely don't.
England's a bit different.
It's definitely different from up here. There's definitely there's still that vibe of, like, you know what I mean? Like, how dare you not follow the rules and that? But yeah, I haven't worn a mask either all year. Well, in Dubai you had to, but they're like the fucking, they're like the Gestapo out there. Like, you're going to fucking jail if you don't wear a fucking mask. But I know, it's just, I'm glad like the gyms are kind of like, oh, fuck that. You know what I mean? It's like,
People going back to normal. That's the best thing. Like, but you know what? It's actually came to the point now. Like, there's the people who are over using like the sprays and shit like that. All that new kit that like we got in, like the Cybex stuff and that, where they're spraying it, it's starting to rust.
Yeah,
and it's like, that kit's like fucking $8,000 a piece.
Yeah.
And like, I actually said that to someone, like, "Hey, can you please not spray that like on the metal? Like, if you want to do like the rubber handles, but don't spray like all the metal stuff." And they're like, "Why the fuck not?" I'm like, "It's £8,000 and you're literally spraying bits and nobody's touching it. It's rusting the machine."
Yeah.
The owners actually said, "Don't spray that bit on the machine." And they looked at me like fucking three heads, and I just told them to fuck off. And I'm like, "I'm just telling you what like the owner said, and like, I'm wanting to protect the brand new machines.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to spray that bit, so it's fine."
I think I told you at the time, I think I was probably texting you at the time, but Reagan and I were at a restaurant in Turkey, and fair enough, this was obviously at the height of the fucking, like, we got that wee window that you're able to go on holiday.
Yeah.
And that's obviously when everyone brought it back into the UK. But anyway, like, this woman, every time the waiter came over with like their plates or like new cutlery or just something new at the table, she'd spray it fucking, and then she cleaned all our wee girls' toys that she had at the table, and I'm like, fuck off. And our man was sitting here like that, like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, fuck.
Like that.
On the way back from London, like, we were at the Arnold's, we went to London, we're flying back, and I was sitting like in the aisle bit, Irene was like in the other aisle bit, but like a seat in front on the other side. And there was a lady about 6 rows back on her side, and I'm not joking, I'm pretty sure she coughed up both her lungs. I've never in my life heard anybody cough so violently for over an hour. It was wild. She was just coughing up flat, and it was non-stop. And like, I was like, this is like, how the fuck is nobody saying anything to her? It was mental. So like, she had her mask off, and she was like in the aisle, like choking to death of like something. It was like she'd had like a crazy smoker Scottish. She wasn't that old, but it was literally just diseases. She was like coughing. But I started just like sitting there like this. I was like, that's weird. Like, I just kept looking. I was like, this is not normal. Like, everyone was looking about saying, somebody tell her to shut the fuck up and get to the back. It was just like mental. Like, I can't believe she was allowed on the plane after everything that's kind of went on.
Aye. Oh, it's fucking, just doesn't make fucking sense. But I'm fucking sick of the COVID chat anyway. But
back to bodybuilding. What's your current plans at the moment?
Well, right now, just kind of keeping as tight with as rebound as I possibly can, which I think I've done a pretty good fucking job of. The difference is, like, I was at Block today, and for those who don't know, like, Block is just like that dirty, fucking greasy, amazing,
like American pubby bar.
Yeah. So that was good, but I had just like a bagel thing and nachos. I think the big difference is I've not like sat and picked. I've been really bad for like, what I'll do is I'll have my chicken and rice and veg, and then as a fucking reward, I'll have an ice cream on top of that. Like, you're just packing calories on the calories. So rather than doing that, be like, right, okay, meal 6 on Saturday, I'll have whatever, like a fucking sandwich or something, and I'll have the ice cream with that, rather than picking it through the week. So I'm just trying to get my strength back up, because I think I said to you today, I definitely think I've lost tissue in that prep. And I've probably said it a million times, like, people say that, oh, I lost tissue. I was like, did you really though? Like, was your training suffering because you were just letting the tiredness and the fatigue get to you? Because you can still rack out, like, you see it all the time in our videos, like, we're still able to fucking push mad weight even when we're fucked. That's a whole mental thing to me. But I think this kind of prep opened my eyes to, yeah, you can legit lose tissue. So
for someone of your size, I would say, to how hard you probably dieted in the end of your first show. Probably, like, if you look at your numbers for your off season for going into that show, I'd imagine they were dramatically different. So, like, how much strength you lost there, that is when the clear sign to me of tissue loss is going to start occurring. Whereas, like, if you look at my numbers, I actually got stronger for a lot of my lifts going into, like, my first show. So I would say I actually, as long as we've probably said many times, we don't actually feel like we can grow in the show. I actually felt like I probably have. I think everything was done very well. I wasn't in condition from the first show, I can admit that. I wasn't in my signature condition, which is like where I really changed to go into the second show. But it allowed me to keep a lot of size and probably gain a little bit and kept that big round full look. So they both had their perks, but there's a time and a place to kick it into another gear and go there. But I think you probably went into that high gear a bit soon.
Yeah, I agree. And also the hip tear didn't help. I had to pull out a lot of movements. So pulled out, obviously, barbell squatting, heavy leg work, deadlifts from the floor, conventional deadlifts. Like, I wasn't doing any of that. So
it's going to start taking away a bit of thickness or like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, as you've mentioned before in the podcast, I'm a big squatter. So I think now I'm keeping the rep ranges between, for legs, like 12 to 20, keeping that range. So I barbell squatted 140 for 17, which I'm pretty chuffed with. And like, see the hip, it's not painful. It's just like, I don't know, like the right one feels like this, fucking solid, and the left one's like that. Just like, it feels like that's made of Play-Doh and that's made of steel. That's how it feels, but they both function fine. Like, I can lift, like when I do lift, it's linear and there's no issues there, but coming out, I don't wake up in pain through the hip. So the hip's obviously good, but it's obviously that, because that's been injured and so weak and I've had to scale back, I just feel like there's a big imbalance there in terms of that stability. But it's slowly coming back. So, and I'm able to, I've PB'd every single, I'm only 3 weeks in, but I'm going to try, obviously, shoot the 140 squat for 20. before I move up in weight. So
yeah. See, for me, like I keep on this little reoccurring. I think it's a little micro tear in the bottom of my hamstring going into the back of my knee on my right leg. It only occurs when I do standing leg curls, because the seated leg curl at the gym's garbage, so I use the standing. And when you're coming in for a single leg on a standing curl, you go up quite a bit of weight. It's quite a strain at the bottom on like the very bottom of your hamstring.
yeah,
And when I try to contract, I get a little bit of a ping occurring there. And like the other day, it went to a big ping, and I felt like something almost tore, and it was like a shooting pain. I was like, "Fuck." And I like went away, rolled it, stretched it, and I could still feel it. I was like, fuck. And my mind was getting to the point, I was getting so angry that it was like fucking so close. Why does this have to fucking happen? And I thought, it's just my hamstring. Sure, I can still squat. So I went on to the hack squat and plate aside, fine. 2 plates aside, fine. 3, fine. 4, fine. 5, fine. I was like, fucking hell. I don't actually feel any pain. I got no fucking knee pain either, because I was trying to control it with like all my might. And I worked up to like 5.5 plates. I got like 13 reps on the hack. I didn't feel that my hamstring at all. So it's just very strange that like something that hurt that much on exercise beforehand, still in my leg, didn't affect me on like the hack squat, the leg press, or the other leg press. And I was like, I managed to finish my session, but I couldn't do any hamstring work. And it was just very, very strange. But it was like even like the days after, I could still feel it, like trying to stretch it. Like, this is not right. But it's like I could still do all my quad work and like heavy compounds. So I'm glad I went and done it, because I would have had like just walk out the session, but I still managed to do all my proper lifts.
Yeah, it just shows you like the just the subtle change in angle can just make like a huge difference. Like I've stopped doing. I used to love walking lunges. I think I used to love them because like you just feel like you're doing a bit of kind of fitness at the same time. But now like it must be due to the tendon tear, but like my hip flexor rolls over my joint like that. I can feel it with every lunge. It's disgusting. I'm like that eventually is going to like go, because it feels like you're wearing away string over the joint, and it's a fucking horrible sensation. I can hear it. I can hear it as well. I'm like, I can't do these anymore. So
I think my shoulders, I don't know if it's because I've kept like an AI in this now, but I can feel my shoulders clicking like every time I try to rotate or press. And it's fucking, it does my nutting.
Mate, AI's are the fucking devil, man.
Oh mate, I don't know if it's because they're getting really dry, but like I can still press the same weight. But it's like it's horrible hearing it in your head every time it clicks. We're
using an AI for the Arnold.
Yeah, it was just like, did I use one for? I've been using it since the graftism, but it came out in between, and then I put it back in like a week before.
Yeah,
but, I was Arimidex, and I've changed over to Aromacin to see if it's like any less harsh on my joint. Seems the same.
Yeah, so my protocol for Arimidex when I was working with Nick was 3 weeks out, 0.5 every other day.
Yeah, that's what
I think I run the same protocol as you.
Yeah, and I
gave you
one a day.
Yeah, so 0.5 every other day, 0.5 every day, and then 1 every day. I felt that was enough just to kind of get that to flatline estrogen enough, and then but not affect anything else. But I was running 1 milligram a day from pretty much almost the start. I was flatlined for the whole fucking thing. I was like this, and also I voiced my opinion on it in the off season, because I was told to take it in the off season, and I was like, I'm not taking the off season because I don't know how
I used to think, obviously, when we were like, I don't want to say dumb, but when we're a bit less knowledgeable, and we should think like, it's like estrogen's not good in bodybuilding. We don't want that shit. We want test, and it's like it's not the case. Obviously, you need that, but in an off season, even in prep, like most of prep in an off season, like if you can get away with not taking it, don't fucking take it.
100%.
You see the, oh my god, this bugs the fuck out of me. see when clients or like potential clients or people ask me questions about like drugs and they're like, oh, I'm taking this as well. I'm like, oh, first thing I'll say is, do you get sides? And every single one goes, no. I'm like, why are you taking it then?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, because I got told to. I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Like, fucking hell. Like, it makes no sense. Like, why would you take it? It's like, oh, just in case. I'm like, just in case what? And they're like, I get sides. And I goes, do you get sides? They're like, no, I've never had sides. I'm like, why the fuck would you get them?
Because you're then giving yourself sides from running the AI.
Yeah.
You're going to affect your blood lipids and all that sort of stuff in your cholesterol, and mate, it's my mood that I can't stand on AIs. That just fucking empty trend feeling, just feel I'm like I'm not there.
You start knocking fucking halos back like Skittles.
Fucking hell. That was, I don't know what I was given, but I was murderous, mate. 40 milligram just for 1 week.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're fucking like amazing / not. Like, you know,
like, that's my fucking name.
Oh mate, fucking hell! Just like the tiniest thing, and I'd want to just be violent. Like I've still got them. Like I might just like see for like a big leg day. I might just like I'll pop a few of them.
Yeah, mine's out just now. I've been going into the last fucking minute, I'm sure. It's like there's like total silence. You know, you could hear like the smallest little thing is so annoying.
So yeah,
slurp your coffee any fucking louder.
It was getting off. It was getting off the. I don't know if actually I wasn't. I don't think it was Halo, but it was obviously definitely starving and being trained at my tits as well. I hit a PB on that. You know that side back shoulder press.
Oh yeah.
I managed to get. I got 1 rep PB and just got off it. Just utter silence. I just went, God. You, Chris, was that? What the fuck was that about? And I don't know where it came from, but someone went and fucking complained. But like, it was like looking back, it's fucking hilarious. And then I was reading one of my posts, and I'm just like, I'll stop being like a whining cunt. I was like, I don't even remember writing that. Like,
so funny what you're saying, because my last leg day before the Arnold, I think I was doing the leg press. And I literally had maybe about 1 fucking grinder left in the tank, and I just like took a little bit of breath, and I was like, "Fucking come on, you cunt!" And I screamed it at the top of my lungs, and somebody fucking heard it in the gym, and like wrote on their story, goes, "Oh, you always know when Greg's fucking doing legs, it's fucking screaming this type of shit." And I can't remember who it was that seen that, and the second goes, "Is that what you scream at Cammy?" I was like, "I screamed it at myself." I said that to Cammy, I screamed at myself, like, "Come on, you." I just fucking, I don't know, it's just shit comes over you, get so angry, and it's just like, you just have to scream. There's no way you can keep popped up.
You know, there's that pub across the road from Future Fitness called the James Tarza. It's a proper old man's pub, right? So during the summer, all the windows are open because it's a fucking greenhouse downstairs, and the seated ISO row is like just across, so you can see everyone in the James Tarza outside. And also me and fucking Chris are fucking screaming. And it's just so funny, all these old guys are just sitting there like, the fuck is that? It's just so funny, just like that. It just keeps you so entertained when you're like, because I was dying, I had no emotion, I wasn't even fucking anything, but it made me laugh, just like these old guys like, the fuck is that? These 2 guys just dying in the fucking gym.
I was actually wanting to speak about, what did you think about Regan Grimes' approach, if you watched it into the show?
Yeah, we've watched a few bits.
Do you know what I thought was hilarious? Like, I don't want to say hilarious because obviously Niels is a great coach. He knows what he's doing, but it was literally like not giving him carbs for like 6 days. And like the workouts he's doing, he's like, we need to deplete the muscle. I'm like, it's fucking depleted, mate. I fucking tell you.
Yeah, I know.
There's fucking nothing there. He's like, no, we need to get every last bit of fucking carbs out. And it's like, the boy's not had carbs in 2 weeks. I'll fucking tell you, you're not depleting anything. There's no way. He must just be grinding fat off him. But hands down, this is the best he's done.
Like that, I was going to send you that, but I know you'd fucking seen it anyway. But
that's the fucking for him. Like, usually he's got that thick pig skin, and it must have been hard to come off. But like, that's fucking detailed drive for him.
And that's testament to the fact that look
Not
at
the
his
flat.
size and experience, and he's having to dig that deep, and like people are greeting that they've got 45 minutes on the stairs to do.
Yeah, he's doing 0 carbs I think he done 0 carbs after Olympia for like a week. Milos gave him 150 grams of carbs one day, and he's went 6 days with no carbs again. And he's doing 2 hours of cardio a day, 2 workouts a day.
And he's still got a fat face.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna have a hamster face for the rest of his life.
Aye,
Like
2 training
that's
sessions.
like the smallest cuts under his eyes, but like this bit here still looks like a hamster.
Yeah, 2 training sessions, 2 45-minute sessions, an hour and a half of posing a day.
Yeah, the posing, man, fucking hell. But like, do you know what really gets me is like he's done this. Have you seen how round and full he is?
Yeah,
No carbs. Like, how is that possible?
best GH.
That just baffles me. Like how he stays that round and full on no carbs and looking like that.
Yeah.
Like his chest and shoulder are just absolutely popping off him. Boys with no carbs, I don't understand that. But I'm very like I really want to see what he looks like with carbs in him for this show if he gets peaked well, because it'll be the first time ever he's peaked well for a show.
Because I know like Milos had like Dennis Wolfe on, was it like 3? It was like
5,000.
Like a day with insulin.
5,000. No, it's going into the show. You put him on 5,000 grams of carbs and he couldn't fill.
Mental.
He says he was like a very unique case. He says his body was just running at such a high rate because he was depleted for so long, he just couldn't fill him.
That just shows you how.
But he says, like, obviously the way he's doing it, he's making the body in such a starved state.
Yeah.
When it does get it, it wants to hold on to it in a sense.
Yeah.
It's not just going to burn through it. But it's fucking. I'll give him his due, like how well he brought Samson in this year. Like Samson was a different bodybuilder this
year. Yeah, I'm so impressed with how much he's come up each year.
Yeah.
Is this, what year is this?
We're both
2008, I think. The year that Dexter won.
We're both big Dennis fans.
Aye. I think I said to you before though, I wish I appreciated him more when he was at peak. Because I was like, oh yeah, he's fucking, he's good.
Fucking phenomenal.
You look back, like, because I think now, because I'm comparing to how he looks now, obviously.
It's fucking weird looking at him now.
That's him now, with Johnny Jackson.
It's nothing.
It's been taken on a 35-10. 2 seconds. Aye. He's just a different human. So like when you see him now and you're like, fuck, like, I wish I just paid more attention to him when he was at his peak.
Yeah. And you see the old school photos of him and Marcus Rule, like he was that's how big he was.
The Gasp advert one.
Yeah. He was a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
Ugh, fucking weird.
It's these pool shots. So like I've said to you, this is why I kind of prefer
nuts.
Not worrying about being pale, because I think pale skin when it's fucking like super ultra shredded looks better.
That's nuts. He had one of the best double biceps ever. There's just so much meat. But do you know who's someone else I wish I appreciated more when they were on the go? But like they just left the scene all of a sudden, but was Justin Compton.
He had health issues, did you not?
I don't think it was ever said, but I think that's a given. He was a fucking.
It was I remember seeing him doing like a reverse hack. And
I actually watched his old YouTube videos the other day, and like I forgot he doesn't train like how we would think he would train. He was literally like does shit super slow, semi to moderate to heavy weight, nothing crazy, but it's like how he does it.
He just posts his clients now.
Yeah, that's all he does. He doesn't post any of the old photos. But that guy there with the fucking glutes was nuts.
Which one?
Him. Him.
Was it you?
Brandon Brendan or something. He was awesome. Brazil.
You obviously bought your fucking ebook, mate, on Bodybuilding.
He was good.
How to get in the super heavyweight wellness class.
Yeah, one of a kind.
Try to find one for him.
I think all top bodybuilders are a massive fan of him, but he fucking left the scene so young.
I know, it's a shame, but it's.
He was just an awesome specimen. Like, he was huge.
There we go. Finally, fuck's sake. Tiny waist as well. That kind of
like crazy arms,
black
crazy
roundness that he's got. So
yeah, he was like Caucasian dry with black roundness. He was fucking one of a kind.
what a combo.
Yeah, there's just so many of those guys there you just don't see.
Yeah. That's just come to, I think we've passed an hour now. So yeah, we'll wrap it up. But yeah, everyone, if you made it this far,
Let's go waffle.
Yeah, we bit of a waffle to this time, but fuck it, it's all good chat anyway. So remember, guys, to subscribe, follow us both on Instagram, and if you've got any questions or queries, I will be sure to answer them in the next podcast if you've got any.
Is anybody who'd actually like to? There's anybody you think would be good to have on our podcast? Or is there any topics you'd like us to cover? Write to one of our pages, and we'll get it done.
Yep, and do so before Greg really starts fucking dying, because it's just going to be the Andy Scott show. Yeah. So cheers, guys. Thanks for that.
Cheers.